All right, let's dive right into this explainer and completely shatter that romanticized Hollywood image of sunken treasure hunting. We all know the movies, right? A rogue explorer, a beautiful sunny day, a crumpled map with a giant X, and a wooden chest full of shiny gold coins that magically makes everyone rich and happy. Well, the actual source material we're breaking down today tells a fundamentally different, and honestly, a far darker story. It's not about some swashbuckling adventure. It is about what actually happens when extreme wealth, international shadow logistics, and just a crushing weight of paranoia all collide. So let's peel back the curtain and look at the gritty reality of black site deep sea salvage.
Picture this. Put yourself directly in a saturation chamber. You have been living in this tiny, pressurized metal tube for 6 straight weeks. You're breathing this highly specific helium-oxygen mix that literally makes your voice sound like a cartoon character. It is grueling, completely claustrophobic work. But then, it finally pays off. You are 3,000 feet down in the pitch-black waters of the North Atlantic, and you've located a wreck that technically doesn't even exist on any map. And it's filled with the undocumented gold of the czars, bullion that hasn't seen the sun in over a century. Your remotely operated vehicle is beaming back crisp, high-definition footage of those gold bars. You have hit the absolute ultimate jackpot.
But right here is where that fantasy instantly shatters. Just as you're staring at that high-def gold, you notice something pop up on your instruments. It's a faint, rhythmic ping on your sonar. And trust me, you know instantly that is not a whale. It's a naval destroyer from a country that really does not like uninvited visitors. Suddenly, you're not just on a salvage operation anymore. You're staring down an international incident waiting to happen. The stakes just went from getting rich to literal life or death.
So, moving into Section 1, the billion-dollar catch. Let's look at how this incredible, high-stakes journey actually begins. And surprisingly, it starts with simple boredom.
You know, you don't just wake up one day dodging naval destroyers. You start out on some rainy Tuesday as a regular commercial diver. You're down there cleaning the hulls of oil tankers for 50 grand a year, and you slowly start to realize that this is a very, very slow way to die. But you happen to have a highly unique talent for finding things that were meant to stay lost forever. Say you fetch a lost bag of emeralds from a shallow water smuggling wreck. Suddenly, you feel this massive rush. And it's way stronger than any corporate bonus check because you've successfully outsmarted the system. A simple map coordinate is no longer just geography for you. It's immense hidden value waiting to be unlocked.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Shadow Architect. Because, as you'll see, that shallow end rush really doesn't last. As you move up the criminal ladder, you quickly transition from being a simple diver into a mastermind of international shadow logistics.
Here's the absolutely crucial point. How do you make a billion-dollar black site find look completely clean on paper? I mean, you can't exactly sail into a commercial port, drop a literal ton of Tsarist gold on the dock, and wave to customs. To pull this off, you have to perform what the source material brilliantly calls accounting gymnastics. Your primary day job shifts entirely from physically diving in the ocean to making illicit treasure dance. You make it move so fast through a massive maze of global accounts that, to any auditor looking in, it just looks like legitimate art appreciation or maybe a perfectly normal rounding error on a giant corporate spreadsheet. Let's track the dizzying, high-speed journey of just a single gold bar as it gets laundered through the global shadow economy. It is wild. Step 1, you set up 8 different LLCs in places like Wyoming and Delaware. Now, these aren't real companies, they're just empty boxes. Step 2, you have one of these shell companies buy the salvage rights to a completely fake shipwreck from another shell company. Then you zip the ownership of that through jurisdictions like Cyprus and Panama. By the time you hit Step 3, the gold's true origin is a total ghost. You have magically transformed a dirty, sunken asset into pristine, totally legitimate revenue.
Moving right along to Section 3, the Deep Sea Machine. Once you prove you can pull this magic trick off, the whole dynamic shifts again. You aren't just some freelancer enjoying the thrill of the hunt anymore. You are a 24/7 corporate asset for incredibly powerful people, the kind of people who literally own the police and the ports.
63. That staggering number is the amount of staff living right there with you on your research vessel compound. We are talking dedicated engineers, heavily armed private security, and a full-blown IT department. And their entire job? It's just to keep your salvage machine humming along perfectly. They don't care at all about the cool history of the gold. They only care that you are acting as their elite magician of the deep.
But you know, with all that massive infrastructure comes a complete and total loss of your autonomy. You're the guy who knows exactly which private docks have those quote-unquote glass walls.
You know all about the security cameras that stop when you stop and follow you the second you move. Your daily life is now dictated by this inescapable level of surveillance. You're constantly being watched by the very machine that was built to turn those dirty assets into clean cash. You've essentially built this flawless system for the global elite, but you've inadvertently locked yourself right inside of it.
And that leads us to section 4, the golden cage. Let's dramatically slow things down for a second here, because we really need to examine the crushing paranoia and the absolute terrifying isolation that is the true ultimate cost of this lifestyle.
Because at this tier of the game, you no longer have real friends. You only have associates. And these aren't the kind of people you just grab a beer with to complain about the local sports team. They certainly don't talk about the weather. They casually discuss who just disappeared or who got reformatted. It is a massive punch to the gut. It proves that you are entirely submerged in a high-stakes underworld where human life is just another line item that can easily be deleted.
Seriously, think about what this does to your daily routine. Every single morning, you have to physically check your own diving gear for trackers. Every single week, you have to toss out and completely change your encrypted burner phone. While you spent all these years building perfectly untraceable lives for the global elite, you've completely erased your own personal identity in the process. You are now just a very, very expensive loose end, because you're the one person alive who actually knows where every digital body is hidden and where every physical ton of gold is buried.
It leads to this incredibly sobering reality. Picture yourself standing totally alone in your ship's empty movie theater at 3 in the morning, and the truth just washes right over you. You really thought you were the king of the ocean, but you realize you have absolutely no free will left. You are literally just a number waiting to be moved to a different column on someone else's spreadsheet, the exact moment you become a liability instead of an asset. Because at this elite, shadow level, family never, ever lets you retire. You are completely trapped.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. After seeing this terrifying golden cage that awaits you, the extreme isolation, and the incredibly complex shadow logistics required just to survive, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought from the source material to really chew on before you ever dream of diving for buried treasure. If you actually found $1 billion at the bottom of the sea, would you keep it, knowing the absolute nightmare it brings, or would you report it?